All right, we're here at Fighters Rep 19 with owner George. George, great night of fights, man. Lots of stoppages. Is there any specific fights that stand out to you that you want to mention?
Right off the bat, we opened it up with Fraga versus Stowe. They hurt each other. Either guy could have gone. It was live by the sword, die by the sword. And Fraga started off the night, and it set a momentum, it set a tone, and it's the reason I made it the first fight. I just had a feeling these two guys, this is how they fight, both of them, and it just set the tone. And then the rest of the night, I mean, highlights for me are Jason Granado's fight, obviously with Isaac De La Paz. What a fight! I mean, yes, he gets the stoppage over De La Paz, and he's just, I think Jason Granado's a star, but Isaac De La Paz, man, his stock goes up. I mean, what a great performance by him. He just got caught. Jason Granado's power is ridiculous at the weight. His right hand is, pretty much any punch he lands is devastating. But, that fight sticks out. The incredible back and forth between Connor Bracken and Moses Murrieta, two of the best 185-pound strikers, I think, on the planet. Hollywood Smith, Darren Smith versus David Pacheco for the middleweight title. My goodness, and the knockout there. And just on, man. Jake Haas knockout. I mean, everybody came out today and really put on a show, And, my theory is you make these fights close and you bring the best out of these guys.
Yep.
And everybody gets their money's worth and the fighters get their experience worth.
Definitely. And,
Very long-winded answer there.
No, that's what we need, man. We want to hear what you have to say. So sometimes fights, they kind of make themselves. After tonight, do you see any potential matchups?
Gosh, I see a lot. Nathan Hawthorne had a great fight with Ian Holloway. We wanted to make a featherweight title fight, and I'd like to see Hawthorne, fight for that if Marquez and Corona can't get it on. I'd like to see Holloway back again, because he put on a great fight too. So I want to get some clarity in that featherweight division. Jason Granado, for me at this point, the only guy that makes sense for him after that performance is probably D'Lo. I'd love to see. I think the community deserves D'Lo versus Jason Granado.
Yeah.
That's a must-make fight. I think you could run Connor Bracken versus Moses Murrieta back. I thought that was close. One of the judges had it a draw, and it was like two piles of sand hitting each other. I mean, these guys are so durable. They were landing flush on each other, and nothing was happening. It was just fascinating to watch. Of course, De La Paz, put up a great performance, even though he didn't get to win, but put up a great performance. He needs to come back, and so many more, Jake Haas. I think also Evan Bolton, I would want to see him back. He didn't seem like he had a great performance this evening. We want to see him back. Of course, we couldn't get Cam on the card. I want to see him back. It's just, it was so many fights tonight, so many guys that we need to see again. And Dylan Ludwig looked so good today against Khosrow Sadarov, man. Dylan Ludwig is a guy who lost his first two fights with us and is now on a run. He just got his stuff together and he's just on a run, man. He just looks amazing. So there's a lot of fights to be made. I need to sit down and think about them, but those are a couple.
Definitely. And, honestly, I agree. I think D'Lo and Granado would be a crazy fight that the fans want. So, yeah, is there any last words that you have?
I just want to thank everybody that came out. I really mean it. I think there's a lot of people out there who can support this community. I think there's a lot of business owners out there who could support this community. If you're not going to sponsor us, and I'm happy to share the sponsorship money with the fighters, but if you're not going to sponsor us, man, sponsor some of these fighters. These kids are stars. These kids are stars. Kids like Jason Granado, you know what I mean? There's so many of them tonight. Ian Holloway, Nate Hawthorne. All these kids are making a real name for themselves. Guys like David Rivera, who we built here in the Lions Den. We had Joshua Caldwell in the audience. We had Joe Parker, Christian Zoller here today. Connor Bracken. All these guys, they deserve your attention. Evan Bolton, Jake Haas. So, I that's what I want to say. I want to implore the striking community, businesses associated with the striking community, step up, dude. Like, we're doing this kickboxing thing at a consistent level, at a high level. Who else is doing this? Right here in the United States, right here in your backyard. So step up, step up and support these fighters. Even if you're not going to support Fighters Rep directly, give them a sponsorship. Reach out to them. They deserve it. Did you see the crowd these kids brought in today? I mean, it's impressive. They've got a following, and it's been. I want to say we've had a hand in creating that following, and I'm proud of that.
Definitely, a lot of great fights tonight, a lot of great fighters. So hopefully we get some sponsorships for them. So thank you for everything. We got Fighters Rep 19, George over here. Thank you, George.
Yeah, man.